Ukrainian aviation continues to play a critical role in the defense of the northern front. In recent days, Ukrainian jets have carried out precise airstrikes on Russian troop positions using American-made Jdam bombs. These GPS-guided munitions allow pilots to hit targets with high accuracy from a safe distance, minimizing exposure to Russian air defenses. The strikes reportedly targeted concentrations of enemy infantry, supply points, and fortified positions, disrupting Russian plans for local offensives. This use of advanced Western weaponry demonstrates Ukraine's growing ability to integrate NATO standard systems into its battlefield operations. By denying Russian forces freedom of movement and forcing them to disperse, Ukrainian aviation is buying valuable time for ground forces to regroup, strengthen defenses, and prepare counteroffensives. Satellite imagery has confirmed the destruction of Russian Su-34 fighter bombers following a joint operation conducted by Ukraine's Security Service and Special Operations Forces. The Cyber Baroshno Group reported the development. Satellite photos taken on June 29 reveal the aftermath of a successful strike on Russia's Marinovka military air base. According to the analysis, 2 Su-34 aircraft were completely destroyed, while 2 others sustained significant damage. At the site of one of the damaged aircraft, signs of a possible detonation of suspended munitions are visible. This section is highlighted in yellow on the satellite image. For comparison, Sentinel-1 satellite imagery from June 25 shows that a group of Russian aircraft was stationed at this location, further confirming the success of the strike. Additional confirmation of losses among Russian tactical aviation came from reports by Russian war correspondents and pro-Kremlin telegram channels, including Fighter Bomber. In his statement, he acknowledged the losses, calling them yet another multi-billion ruble setback that could and should have been prevented. The operation was first announced on June 27th. Since the start of the full-scale invasion, the Su-34 has become the primary platform for delivering missile and bomb strikes against Ukrainian cities and defense forces positions along the front line. These multi-role fighter bombers are heavily used to deploy bombs equipped with UMPK kits. According to open-source data, Russia has irretrievably lost at least 32 Su-34 aircraft and 1 Su-34M, with 5 more having sustained varying degrees of damage. Trying to blend in as a tree didn't work out. Pilots from the Phoenix unit are skilled at spotting Russian forces hiding in the tree lines of Kharkiv region. Ukraine's Phoenix drone unit, part of the State Border Guard's Revenge Brigade, continues to deliver devastating strikes. In recent days, the unit destroyed a Russian Patriot howitzer, a camouflaged tank, vehicles, and a drone control hub in the Kharkiv region. Around 10 Russian soldiers were also eliminated. Earlier this month, Phoenix struck near Kramatorsk, destroying a BM-21 Grad system, anti-aircraft guns, and armored vehicles. With precise FPV drone operations, Phoenix is dismantling Russia's firepower and battlefield coordination. In Ukraine, a specialized armor system is now being produced for the Patriot air defense system. The control station, radar comparator, and generator are now protected by 3 tons of armored plates. The upgrade is being handled by Ukraine's largest metallurgical company, which previously developed similar protection for the Iris-T SLM air defense system. The company has manufactured armored protection to cover key elements of the complex, adapted to shelling. As part of the Steel Front initiative, Metinvest Group has manufactured and installed special protective armor for one of Ukraine's Patriot air defense systems. Weighing over 3 tons, the structure is designed to protect critical elements of the system, ensuring its operation even during enemy attacks. This is stated in the company's press release. The steel protection covers several components at once: the anti-aircraft missile system control station, the radar comparator, known as the doghouse, and the generator. The armor consists of a metal frame and armored plates adapted to the specific type of equipment and deployment conditions. In such war conditions, every minute that air defense systems are operational saves lives. Our protective armor is designed precisely for this purpose, to keep equipment in service even under fire, said Alexander Maronenko, Chief Operating Officer of Metinvest Group. Systematic work on air defense protection began at Metinvest in early 2025. The first shelters were installed in the spring, after which the designs were continuously improved. Each shelter is designed individually, depending on the location and technical characteristics of the equipment. Dozens of specialists from various fields are involved in the creation of the armor, from turners and welders to blacksmiths and painters. For security reasons, production is carried out at secret sites outside the group's enterprises. As GMK Center reported earlier, that over more than 3 years of full-scale war, Metinvest Group has allocated 9.28 billion Ukrainian hryvnias to support Ukraine. Of this amount, 4.9 billion Ukrainian hryvnias has been allocated to the army as part of the Steel Front initiative. The company remains Ukraine's largest exporter and continues to invest in modernization, energy independence, and employee safety. Senator Lindsey Graham says Trump supports his bill on tougher anti-Russian sanctions. The proposal will begin moving through the Senate in July.
Now, I want to ask you about Russia because you're pushing this bill to impose severe new sanctions on Russia. Have you gotten Trump on board with this?
Big breakthrough here. So what does this bill do? If you're buying products from Russia and you're not helping Ukraine, then there's a 500% tariff on your products coming to the United States. India and China buy 70% of Putin's oil. They keep his war machine going. My bill has 84 co-sponsors. It would allow the president to put tariffs on China and India and other countries to get them, stop them from supporting Putin's war machine to get him to the table. For the first time yesterday, the president told me.
You were playing golf with him?
Yeah, I was playing golf with him. He says, it's time to move your bill. There's a waiver in the bill, Mr. President. You're in charge of whether or not it's to be implemented. But we're going to give President Trump a tool in the toolbox he doesn't have today. After the July break, we're going to pass a bill that would allow the president.
He's going to sign it.
Yeah, I think we're in good shape. But he has a waiver. It's up to him how to impose it. But we're trying to get Putin to the table.
And back to Iran. Iran has demanded that the UN recognize Israel and the U.S. as being to blame for their recent 12-day war, in a letter to the Secretary General published on Sunday. We officially request hereby that the Security Council recognize the Israeli regime and the United States as the initiators of the act of aggression and acknowledge their subsequent responsibility, including the payment of compensation and reparations. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi wrote in a letter to UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. There has not been an official response to this from Israel or the U.S. yet. Israel relentlessly attacked Iran beginning on the 13th of June, targeting its nuclear sites, defense systems, high-ranking military officials, and atomic scientists. But the attacks killed at least 627 people, including many civilians, according to Iran's health ministry. The U.S. then struck 3 nuclear facilities in Iran, Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan, with bunker-buster bombs over the weekend, prompting Iran to launch missiles at a U.S. military base in Qatar in response. There were no reported casualties. Retaliatory missile attacks by Iran on Israel killed 28 people during the 12-day war, according to Israeli authorities. The UN nuclear watchdog chief Rafael Grossi has said Iran likely will be able to begin to produce enriched uranium in a matter of months, despite damage to several nuclear facilities from U.S. and Israeli attacks. The capacities they have are there. They can have, in a matter of months, I would say, a few cascades of centrifuges spinning and producing enriched uranium, or less than that. Grossi, the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, told CBS News in an interview. Frankly speaking, one cannot claim that everything has disappeared and there is nothing there, he added, according to the transcript of an interview due to air on Sunday. For now, Iranian lawmakers voted to suspend cooperation with the IAEA, and Tehran rejected Grossi's request for a visit to the damaged sites, especially Fordo, the main uranium enrichment facility. We need to be in a position to ascertain, to confirm what is there and where is it and what happened, Grossi said.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
gets 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.